There is something very wrong with the system of values in a society that only has derogatory terms like nerd and geek for the intellectually curious and academically serious. A geek, according to Webster's New World Dictionary, is a street performer who shocks the public by biting off heads of live chickens. It is a telling fact about our language and our culture that someone dedicated to the pursuit of knowledge is compared to a freak biting the head off of a live chicken. Even at the prestigious academic institution like Harvard, anti-intellectualism is rampant. Many students are ashamed to admit, even to their friends, about how much they study. Although most students try to keep up their grades, there is a minority of undergraduates for whom pursuing knowledge is the top priority during their years at Harvard. Nerds are ostracized, while athletes are idolized. The same thing happens in US elementary and high schools. Children who prefer to read books rather than play football, prefer to build model airplanes rather than get wasted at parties with their classmates, become social outcasts. Ostracized for their intelligence and refusal to conform to society's anti-intellectual values, many are deprived of the chance to learn adequate social skills and acquire good communication tools. Enough is enough. Nerds and geeks must stop being ashamed of who they are. It is high time to face the persecutors who haunt the bright kid with thick glasses from kindergarten to the grave. For America's sake, the anti-intellectual values that pervade our society must be fought. And until the words nerd and geek become terms of approbation and not derision, we do not stand a chance. Oh my God. America needs its nerds. A little article published in the New York Times of all places. Yeah, well, it was published originally in the 90s, but give me a break. This is a setup to a bigger thing. First off, the author's name. Leonid Friedman. That's right, Leonid Friedman. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but he sounds like a goddamn organelle. So I just looked up the meaning of the name Leonid, and apparently it's like German for lion or something. Funny, I thought he sounded like a huge pussy. I'm dying. Now I'd like to argue that the point here that good old Leonid is making is completely false. I don't think we live in a world where anti-intellectualism is valued. I think he's wrong. Here's why. People don't make fun of people for being smart. People are jealous of people who are smart. People envy people who are smart. People who can naturally pass tests. People who don't need to try. People who are just naturally better at school. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you're really good at football. It doesn't matter if you're good at singing. At the end of the day, smarts will get you places, buddy boy. Smarts is what gets your grades up. Smarts is what gets you into college. You can be good at football all you want. It doesn't mean you're getting recruited. You can be a good singer all you want. Doesn't mean you're going to be on Broadway. You can make films all you want. Doesn't mean you're going to be a filmmaker. People don't make fun of people for being smart. People make fun of people for being weird, for acting weird in social situations, for being into weird things, for liking anime, Pokemon cards, video games, comics. People make fun of people for being different, not for being smart. People make fun of people for their appearance, glasses, bad acne, bad hygiene, overweight, glasses, overweight. Sport people get made fun of too. I call all my jock friends meatheads all the time. Literally. I think it's hilarious. Hold on, let me Google the meaning of the word jock right quick. Okay, the definition of jock is just an enthusiast or a participant in a specified activity. So I guess by that definition, most nerds and geeks could be considered jocks too. So, the more you know. I'm dying inside. Not many people nowadays care about sports. You know, now that the mainstream is like all pop culture-y, all geek culture. Ooh, I'm a nerd, I'm a geek. I'm unique, I'm different, but at the same time, I'm the same exact carbon copy as everybody else. Doctor Who! Who's that? Who's there? Benedict Cumberbatch. But we'll get into that. We'll get into that later. We'll get into that later. This is a setup for a bigger thing. We'll get into that later. The boy makes many a generalization. My favorite, personally, hold on, let me pull it up for you. How can a country where typical parents are ashamed of their daughter studying mathematics instead of going dancing, or of their son reading Weber while his friends play baseball, be expected to compete in the technology race, blah, blah, blah? What parent out there would rather have their kid out partying than studying? Tell me. You know, it makes the generalization that people ostracize smart people. They don't. It makes the generalization that people idolize athletic people. They don't. Makes the assumption that people who are athletic are automatically anti-intellectual. They aren't. It makes the argument that even if the U.S. was so brawn over brain, that we wouldn't thrive. Well, look here, buddy boy. It's been about 30 years later. We're still booming. We're still big boy number one. Sure, we got a real big boy president, but hey, can't complain. We're all still living. We out here grinding, making money, not impoverished for the most part, I'd like to believe. I mean, personally, I got a pretty good setup here, but why is the video called Lando Complains Geek Culture? This isn't about geek culture. I mean, it kinda is. Get with it, buddy. Now look, I understand where you're coming from, and I'm gonna go into my second thing right now. So here's the thing. Here's the thing about geek culture, right? Now, we don't live in a day and age where people only care about sports. Sure, there's a large majority of people that do watch the NFL, NBA, all those bad big boys in the with the balls and the sports, haha. But the thing is, there's also a large majority of people that are really into like nerdy stuff, like comics and superheroes and video games. I mean, Marvel, they've been making movies, they've been pumping out superhero movies out the wazoo. A Marvel cinematic universe has been created over the past decade or so. People go nuts over that stuff. Merchandising for stuff like that is out the wazoo. Step foot into a hot topic and you'll understand what I'm talking about. Step foot into an FYE, whatever. They got that shit everywhere. I mean, even me, I'm guilty of it. But here's the thing. The thing about geek culture that I personally despise is people like this asshole. People like Leonid over here, who acts like we live in a sort of society where it's special or unique to be into nerdy things. People who think that the entire world's against them just because they like Sherlock or whatever kids are into these days. No one cares. Ultimately, no one cares about your interests. I mean, unless you're like in a group of friends and y'all get together to watch the anime, I don't think anyone really cares what you do in your free time. So when you make your best effort to show and to tell everyone what you're interested in, through clothing, backpacks, pins, whatever, oh my god, it's the most frustrating thing. It is so annoying because no one cares. When I see a girl walking down the hallway with a Hufflepuff t-shirt, I think, wow, she's cool. When I see somebody walking down the hallway wearing a pop culture t-shirt, I'm like, oh boy, that guy's cool. I want to be that guy's friend. You bet I do. Oh boy, you bet I do. I want to be that guy's friend. That guy over there. Tell me his name, because, oh boy, we watch the same show. My name Rick and Morty. Justin Roiland, Dan Harmon, am I right, boys? I want to kill myself. I actually want to die. I want to stop living. This is an unorganized rant, and it's god awful. I'm sorry.